This podcast is just for fun. It's all fake. Don't believe us. Look, do your own research.
Surprise crack.
Welcome to
the
show.
You were counting down. I thought you were just pointing at me. I was like, why are you pointing at me, Phil? What am I doing wrong already?
Do a different order. Have someone.
Let's go in a different order sometime.
That's kind of why I left the gap there. I was like, is somebody else wanting to take this? Nope. Okay.
I thought about stealing it from you, but that wouldn't have worked because then you were just quiet, and then I don't know. I was going to pull a little Phil chaos there, but it didn't.
That's all right. I got it.
It created chaos because I decided not to.
We're also courteous. We were just waiting for the other person to say something first. Tanner's just like, I'll just start it. And he's been quiet ever since. You've said welcome, and that's it. That's kind of.
He said.
Okay, good.
Watch yourself.
Hey, I'm just saying your caffeine hasn't kicked in.
That's because I
you haven't drank it yet.
Opened it yet.
Speaking of which, I would like to get this started.
Yeah, let's do that. Well, let's sync.
Right, 3, 2, 1, go. That was great.
That was well coordinated.
This week we are drinking
Caramel macchiato.
Mike had the theme. Oh, that is good. That might be the best
I grabbed
one.
some monsters because we're going to talk about monsters.
Wow.
I have I don't know if I've tried the Ultra Blue Hawaii yet.
It's good. I had that on a prisoner transport a few months back. That was the only thing they had.
That sounds so epic.
I know.
I was on a prisoner transport in Guam last week.
Nah, it was just North Platte.
Fire was raining down from the sky.
Cracked open my blue Hawaiian.
And I looked to my right, and all I had was a blue Hawaiian.
I wish it had been that epic.
Just
it was
me and
not.
my blue Hawaiian.
Phil plays so much Counter-Strike, it starts to blend with reality.
Yeah.
He forgets where the line is.
Instead, the reality is you probably drove across very boring parts of Nebraska.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what
Needed
happened.
to stay awake.
But yeah, I needed something, and the Ultra Blue Hawaiian got me through it. It was pretty good.
Tanner has an
enjoyed it.
exceptional and very specific memory when it comes to like faces and hotel rooms and like gas stations that we've stopped at. And Phil's is, I was having like the first time I had this energy drink was while I was doing this.
And it was probably
On
super
the job.
quiet. It was probably super quiet. Phil took a little sip and he was like, that's good.
That's great.
Why am I a side character in like a medieval rom-com? What is that?
That's good. And then his transport, he's like, have you tried this blue
I don't know. I don't know what that was. It was such
Speaking of medieval, though, I started reading. I cannot talk. I started reading the Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England. Is that the whole title? By
That's
Brandon
a
Sanderson.
mouthful.
Brandon Sanderson. It's so good.
Huh.
It's like a very casual read. I think all of you would actually like it. So
Nice.
I started reading that. I'm reading like 3 books right
Is it
now.
on Audible?
I'm kind of in a place. I'm sure.
Then I will probably check it out.
reading it
I
on
do have
Blog.
another Audible credit I need to use.
I have like 10 because I haven't got a new audiobook in like 3 months, 4 months.
It'd be
I don't know,
pretty
it's been a
easy
while.
listening to. It's great. It's very not whimsical in the sense that like Tress of the Emerald Sea is like whimsical, and like Princess Bride is more like Ready Player One ish.
Oh,
but also you're
okay.
just like you have no context for what you're about to read because the main character doesn't remember himself. So it's pretty great.
Oh. Well,
We need to start integrating into a book talk segment for Courtney. She gets to talk about what books she's reading.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes.
When you say book talk,
She says no.
TALK,
she- her
not
eyes
GLK.
I was
say
gonna
yes.
say because I don't
Her soul
know.
says
I've never dove into that, but TikTok has informed me, like the side that like brushes up against that has informed me that it's dangerous, and I have
Yeah.
no desire to be there.
No, I honestly stick to Instagram. I feel like that's probably where my demographic is. Yeah, I don't understand TikTok, and I don't think TikTok wants. Yeah, I don't know. TikTok doesn't
TikTok
understand
wants
me.
you.
I don't. Well, yeah, I don't want to understand TikTok.
Yeah,
I don't
understand.
want that.
I knew where you
I
were
don't
going.
want that.
TikTok's not
Like I
ready
said,
for
can't
Courtney.
talk. No.
That is a
10 years later, though, I'm there.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Down the road.
In 10 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like her coffee addiction.
Right. Yeah.
Just late to the game.
So yeah, in 10 years, my
all right. All right, Nixon.
In the ancient days of giants, when the earth was wild and free, a creature roamed the valleys, cloaked in mystery. Is he born of angels' blood and man, a Nephilim so tall, or a shadow of the fallen, yet heeding the Maker's call? He's a biblically accurate Bigfoot, with a lineage from the skies. Not a myth or legend, but a truth that never dies. Is he a remnant of the Nephilim, a titan standing tall? Or does he have the word of God upon him, the last to hear the call?
What were you going to say before I cut you off with that?
it was gonna be a good joke. That's
Oh,
okay.
dang it. Say it.
I was just gonna say, yeah. In 10 years, I'll be drinking iced coffee, and I'll be on TikTok, and my basic white girl transformation will be complete. So there we go. But in 10 years, so yeah.
Yes.
Gotta wait.
Everything will be reset. It'll be back to like Victorian era, like
and your
sensibilities.
That's what started that tangent. You keep
and your
listening.
handbook will come in handy. 'Cause we'll be back
I
in the
know.
medieval time.
I know, right?
There you go.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. No, that's pretty good.
Oh, man. Yeah. So
Anyway,
last week's episode, we talked about the time loops and stuff like that. That seems to have gotten people thinking. Do you see that on the Discord?
I'm losing it.
I have
everybody's
been
like,
it's gone.
oh my
It's
gosh.
gone crazy. Yeah.
yeah.
There was even a few ginger jokes in there. It was good.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing I missed everything.
So my new
So
theory.
recap.
My new theory is that somebody asked a question, a hypothetical, and they said that it was Red. He asked if you were supposed to be twins but you never separated, do you have two souls in your body? So my new theory is that people who have an inner monologue were supposed to be twins, but they have. But
Hey, no,
but your
don't do
twins-
that to me.
Your twins' voices, and that's why it sounds like you.
Then
because
it wouldn't
it's
be a
your twin's
monologue. It
voice.
would be a dialogue.
That's my inner. But yeah, do you not talk to your inner monologue, inner dialogue? I talk, dude. I have like three.
That's why
I'm
it's
just
a
kidding.
dialogue.
Well,
not
actually,
a
people who-
monologue.
So then,
So,
I talk to myself. So then, I guess I have an inner dialogue.
there's some people that do and some people
Yeah.
that don't. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
that's
but
why
then-
the
so
term
then
is
the-
dialogue, because you are talking to yourself.
I disagree.
So
like,
But anyway, let me continue. So my theory, the theory then is the people who don't, the people who can't see, I call them NPCs. The NPCs who
Right.
don't have an inner dialogue, monologue, whatever. That they were just supposed to be solo kids, and then the conversation turned very quickly to gingers and having all of the souls inside their brain, and that's why it.
wait.
Oh,
So
wow.
what if? Never mind.
Okay, continue. Mike, you're going to say something.
no, I was just to say that there's like real, like when somebody says, just listen to that voice that some people are like, what? It's because they don't have an inner voice. They don't hear.
Yeah, they don't have an
voice.
inner-
They don't think
inner
like
monologue.
that.
My unsplit twin is a jerk because he keeps me up at night, asking me stupid questions and
Bro, for real. Dude,
being annoying.
and unfortunately, the times in which I need, it's like exhausting nights, like Chi Alpha nights, where we have service, we have a lot of conversations, that kind of stuff. And I get home, it takes hours for my brain to calm down enough that I can fall asleep. And so I'm already exhausted. So like at conferences, I can't sleep. Like, I just don't sleep at conferences because I want to spend time with people. So I'm hanging out with like Andy and all those guys late and playing games or whatever. And then we get back to the room and everybody else probably just like goes to bed at that time. I'm just awake for hours until I can calm down enough to fall asleep.
See, and I talked about this in the hypnosis one. I self-hypnotize. So if I'm awake longer than 10 minutes, there's something's going on because I crash
hate
myself
you.
out really
I hate
quick.
you.
So
I'm so
I
envious
hit the
of that.
pillow and I am out within 10 minutes tops.
I am pretty exhausted, so that's usually me too. Now, if I can stay asleep, that is the question lately.
Must
So
be nice.
Being exhausted.
No, the being able to just go to sleep.
Oh, yeah.
I'd rather be a little
Have a
extra
kid.
tired. And, don't matter. I've been super exhausted before and still laid there for friggin' 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
I guess that's true because
I
Tanner
hate
has
it.
kids and he's still like that.
I'm so jealous of my
Are you
wife.
okay, Phil? Do we need to check in with Phil today?
No, it's okay. I'm
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Hey, I
know a
something
counselor.
Uh-oh.
If you,
Where did what go?
Yes.
Yeah. Wake up.
There you go. Grab your keys and put them on. There you go.
we're all staring.
You gotta
Did you
take
put the keys on the table?
I forgot.
Gotta take the seal.
Oh! I
I
just
can
hit the
smell
mic.
it from here.
I just got some residual from that.
That'll do it.
I just got like a second hand whiff.
Hi, everybody.
There we go. I'm gonna skip. Nope. Go for it, Mike. It ends with you. I'm not gonna. Yeah, no.
The worst is when you go for the sniff, you get nothing. So then you take a bigger sniff, and then but the air has moved, and then it just hits your eyeball.
Isn't that kind of part of the point?
Oh yeah,
Mike just looks like he got clocked in the face.
I did.
Yeah.
You didn't,
what it feels like.
You didn't get a good enough whiff unless your
I got
eyes
it on my
water.
finger too. Yeah.
I still remember. I know we
Those
shared
are
about it on the
strong,
podcast, but the one where
Strong salts.
I accidentally opened it for fresh the first time ever in the weight room, and it just smelled like cat pee.
Did we tell about the time where I took the car to go do something and your gym bag was in the car?
No, we
and
didn't.
the lid somehow worked its way off, and I'm driving. I'm like, it smells like cat pee in here. And I'm like, my eyes are watering. What is going on? And I was like down the
just
road, and
wide
I had to
awake.
pull over, and I was like, oh my gosh. I was mad because I was pregnant too. I was like, I'm like so mad right now.
I forgot you were pregnant.
Yeah.
Is
Yep,
everyone
yep.
here aware of the fact that I had Matt's kid smell mine?
Oh, gosh.
And he went deep. And I thought I killed him. He just
Worse
immediately.
than Tret?
Older kid?
Dude, it was bad. Yeah. So he just, stuck his whole face up to it. And Matt let me do it. He encouraged it. And he just immediately turned
that's what
and
dads
Boy, dad.
dove into the bathroom. And you could hear him retching. And there's and then he comes back 5 minutes later and his eyes are red. There's tears running down his face. And he just goes, I couldn't breathe. It was so good.
That's pretty similar to when Tret did it because we were at the weight room and it was one of the college guys and he had never used smelling salts before. And I was like, okay. And I warned him and I was like, hold it a little bit away from your face and then smell and then and you won't smell anything, smell again.
Spoiler alert. Tret did not listen.
Yeah, so he didn't smell anything, so then he stuck it in his nose in it and then went and then
Passed out.
literally just took off running. And he came back and his nose is just all of the mucus in his body had just
Gosh.
stopped existing and just
It was, yeah.
his eyes he had they looked just red around his eyes
Look pepper sprayed.
yeah, he looked like he had been
yeah.
pepper sprayed. Absolutely. Oh, smelling salts.
Oh, wow.
We do the real drugs
Phil,
around
you ever
here.
been- you ever been
Caffeine
pepper
and
sprayed?
smelling salts.
I have not been pepper sprayed.
No,
You
I
guys
have
realize that you've moved on. It's not just
I've been
energy
tased.
drinks now. It's
You've been
energy
tased?
drinks and smelling salts. So what's next when both of those lose their power?
Correct.
Gosh. Probably, honestly.
We're gonna pepper spray each other.
been. We got two conversations.
Not be.
Tase each
I
other.
want to
Pepped
hear.
up
I want
for
to
the
hear
show.
about Phil's getting tased.
It sucks.
Was it for training?
tased.
It's so not for training. they don't mandate it anymore, like at the academy. They teach it, but they don't. Well, they teach the concept. Then you have to take like actual taser training when you get back to your department before you can carry. So once you get done with taser training, it's not required, but it's encouraged by most departments that you understand what it feels like. And so, yeah, I got tased voluntarily, and it sucked. It sucked pretty bad.
Like, hit me.
So it's people that have been tased and pepper sprayed. It's like 50-50. I think some people experience each one worse.
Yeah.
And it's generally agreed upon that spray is like worse because it lasts longer. Like you have to keep going, and my eyes are sensitive, so like I don't want to get pepper sprayed.
That's
Like
right.
I know that's gonna suck horrifically.
So
But
it makes sense.
Have you ever seen the pepper spray canisters that they have for like events?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we were at a CSU CU football game, and somebody snuck in a beer bottle and threw it at one of the police officers and hit him with it. And they turned around, they freaked out, they pulled out the canister and hosed down the whole CSU section. Man, we were all there,
That's
like
nuts.
trying to find our way to the parking lot. The game was already over.
Yeah.
Like we're trying to find our way to the parking lot. Nobody can see. We're all like,
That's
just,
rough. Oh my god,
Oh, it was rough. Yeah,
That's
it was rough.
tough.
but
Dude, that stuff. When I was in Santiago, Chile, we were there, and there had been some riots that had happened, and our hostel was right down the street from basically their equivalent of the White House. And when we were walking back to the hostel, we didn't know the riots had gone on, and they had done the pepper spray bomb things to get everybody to leave.
Right.
And we're walking down the road, and I'm just like, my eyes are watering. I'm like, what is going on? Why is the air spicy? Just like we couldn't figure it out. And all of us are just we weren't, and not nearly as bad as you would have received it. But yeah, we're all coughing. We can't figure it out. When we get back to the hostel, all our eyes are just watering. We're all coughing, like we barely breathe. And that's when the front desk worker was like, oh, that's just the whatever.
It's just the pepper
called
spray.
the pepper spray canisters or whatever. And it was still in the air 2 hours later. I was like, bro, I'm because of that experience, I have no ambition. Like I've zero desire to experience what you experienced.
One time I was at a Perkins. I was at a Perkins with some of my buddies in college. And so we were at a Perkins and, hanging out with the boys. And one of them was like, hey, you're Mexican. I bet you can't drink this whole bottle of Tabasco.
Oh my
I'll give you $10. And I was like, yeah, no, not drinking the bottle of Tabasco. And my buddy, Sean, we love Sean. I don't know if he's listened to the show yet or not, but he's good.
I will have to tell him that he's on it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about him. He goes, I'll do it. And so we poured it in we emptied an orange juice glass, and we poured the Tabasco in the glass, and he starts drinking it, and everybody starts laughing. Well, he laughed, went like that, and it went up in his nostrils, and he spit it. And I'm sitting across from him. He spit it straight in my eyes.
No.
Right? And so I find my way to the bathroom because I can't see anything, and like I'm throwing water in my eyes. And I look over, and he's got like snot hanging out of his nose, like he's going, and I'm like, oh my eyes, and like neither one of us can see anything, right? So we come back out, and we're like fine. Both of our eyes just swollen red. There's like a silhouette of my head behind the wall where I was sitting, where he sprayed me with Tabasco. And we sit down and we're talking, and the guys are laughing, and I look over, and two of my uncles who are police officers are sitting at a table 2 tables away, just shaking their heads at us, just going. I was like, what's up, guys?
My gosh.
wow.
So I got pepper sprayed that time too, on accident. So there you go.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
That needs to be a short. I'm going to turn that into a TikTok short.
Oh my
That is
god.
I have to. I got to write that down.
That's pretty great.
Yep.
Anywho,
That's going on.
Yep. That's
But no,
one of my best friends. Crazy times.
getting tased.
Oh yeah.
So what that feels like is basically doing like a full body workout in 5 seconds.
Oh, I bet.
Like a full set of dude, my calves were sore for like 2 days.
Oh,
like
your whole body clutches up.
Well, yeah, like all of your muscles just seize. Like you think about like the most intense like stim machine, right?
I was gonna say
it's like
Tanner.
it's
Yeah.
like a super hardcore stim machine that gets all of your muscles for
crazy.
5 seconds. That 5 seconds feels like a minute. Now, Taser, the company, came out with it's the funniest thing ever. There's a video. I'll send it to you guys afterwards. But they came out with a civilian model called the Pulse, and it has a 30-second cycle. And the idea is if you require the taser for your safety and you want to do less lethal option, you shoot them with the taser, you drop it, and you run. And they have a 30-second ride on the Lightning.
Wow.
And there's a video, he decided to test it and take the full 30. It's the only time I've ever seen anybody do this. Nobody else has the balls to do this, and I don't blame them because this would be terrible. Dude, that 5 seconds felt like a minute. A 30-second ride.
Come on, Phil, do it for the pod.
Oh, absolutely not.
Let's do it for the
Absolutely
pod.
not. Absolutely not.
All right. Okay.
Patreon.
I was going to say, the amount of money.
We would, bro. We
I
would
would
make so
pay
much
the
money.
Patreon for that.
I would buy my own Patreon. For
The
that.
amount of money I would require, I would put
your
like
own
a
Patreon.
$1,000 minimum on
right.
that.
Right.
All right, Discord. You know the drill.
Oh my
Start.
God.
Somebody
Somebody
start a
Said
GoFundMe,
$1,000.
and we'll see what we can raise.
$1,000, we'll see what we can raise.
Throw a number out there, Phil.
And the largest donor gets to be the one that shoots it.
I'm so scared.
Oh my
Please
God.
don't do
I just
this.
choked on my
Please
mic.
don't do this. I beg you. Listen.
What figure you throw out there? 7,000. Let's do this.
Highest bidder pulls the trigger.
Do for $7,000. I'll get tased.
$7,000.
30,000. 1,000 for every second.
I wouldn't be
There you
as
go.
scared if I hadn't been tased because it doesn't sound that terrible. But when you've done 5 seconds and you know what that feels like, 30 seconds is insane.
Well, like,
it is absolutely
that's
insane.
crazy.
Time is relative. We talked about
much
that.
so.
5
Yeah.
seconds
That's-
when you're riding the Lightning is a long
Yeah.
time. I
Yes,
think.
it is.
Back in my pre-Christian days,
Is that an
there was a
official term?
girl that had a handheld one.
Yeah.
And she put a fresh battery in it, and we were, who's the biggest man? And you know me, I always have to prove myself. And so then, or I just had to. I don't really do that anymore.
You have to.
Anyway, so they tased somebody in the arm, and he's like, "That hurts really bad." Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, "Well, put a fresh battery in, dude. Put it up to my neck." And so then they tased me in the neck.
What?
They left two little perfect little dots. But the thing the thing that's lasting, that you know if somebody's actually been tased, is it felt like it was on my neck for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
They showed me the video of it. They literally touched. That was it. But my brain told me that there was a 30-second long tase.
Who is this with? Don't say names later.
It was
Was
It was
before
before I was a Christian.
our group?
Yep.
Oh my lord!
This was
Babe,
pre-Courtney when he started
I
making
did
good decisions.
not know this. I know.
We used to make a lot of bad decisions.
As far as time being relevant,
In the name of manliness, we used to make a lot of
Like,
I
bad
did
I've
drag
heard-
race a
I've
church
heard-
van one time. I
I've
don't
heard
know
all
if the
the
good
worst
decisions really
stuff.
started at that
I've
point.
heard all the worst
I
stuff.
mean, I got kicked off a golf course for stunt driving the golf carts. So
Oh,
we've
man.
done a lot of crazy stuff in our day.
I did just yeah.
Babe,
golf carts.
I've
I
heard
was
all the
just telling
worst
that
stuff with
story.
you, but this is just one of the stupid in between things that I guess I just hadn't heard yet. So
I could have swore I told you that, but yeah, nobody go. Like, when is
so-
the right opportunity to be like?
I know.
Yeah, one
It's-
time
It's so sweet.
during dinner.
I
We've
was-
been together 15
I was
years and we're
having a-
still learning things about each other.
I was having
Aw.
an ego contest and got tased
bet
in the
that
neck.
tracks.
Oh, a
That
mosquito
tracks.
bit me on the neck. That
I've been
reminds
with
me of that one
myself for
time I got
28
tased
years,
in
and
the
I'm still
throat.
learning stuff about me.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and that was just, and I can only imagine the difference between the like handheld versus
yeah.
like industrial, like taser brand taser.
Well, and they don't take a real serious battery. Like when you see the battery in those things, they're not that intimidating.
Well, and the
No, it's
the
basically
yeah, 'cause
like
they're
a
putting in-
double A
double A.
proprietary battery pack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's literally what they put in this one, and they just had the fresh. What's the ones that go in the smoke detectors?
9 volt.
9 volt. They put a fresh 9 volt
Yeah.
battery in it. Is
So
all, and I
in
was
one
like,
of my-
that can't be that bad. I put my tongue on that.
This brought up another story. So I have
the
a
same.
buddy
Wow.
in college. He's now a police officer in Colorado. I won't mention his name, but he got his taser certificate, everything else, got his taser, realized it only had just a little battery in it, no big deal. He's like, this can't be that bad. So he got himself in the leg. And the funny thing about tasing yourself is you can't let go of the
tense up.
trigger.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
So his wife came home and found him passed out in the chair with a burn mark on his leg because he couldn't let go. Yeah, and the battery was dead.
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
I'll tell you, I've had the thought on long boring nights of like drive stunning myself in the leg, but there's a button that you can press and hold so you don't have to do the trigger. If I was ever going to do it, that is the way that I would do it. But I'm scared that I would like slip and get the trigger, and then,
All I hear
that's half the reason I've never
Phil-
done that.
Oh my
All I
god.
hear is Phil wants to tase himself for the pod. That's all I'm hearing. That's all I'm hearing.
Hey, so Courtney, we found the natural progression. We go energy drinks, caffeine, smelling salts, tasing.
Tasing. Okay. all right.
I thought about it to wake
Next
myself up.
level. Next level.
Let's do this thing.
On a long night when you're sleepy, you're like, man, I really just need to wake up. I have an electrical device. I could shock myself awake,
my
literally.
gosh.
But
The
yeah,
state patrol
Bro.
cruises up, tries to figure out why you're hanging halfway out your car.
Imagine driving up, pulling up on Phil in the ditch, just tasing himself,
Oh my god!
just stuck.
Guys, hey, guys.
oh, you can't talk.
It just
You ain't talking while you're
that would be
getting
both,
We need to move on.
How
both
did
the
we get here?
scaried and greatest day of my life.
How did we get here?
I believe it was
What day is it?
the
Who's
smelling salt.
president?
I was gonna say we were talking about time travel and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, is that
You would just,
we
like,
just figured it out.
it
When
opens
you
a
tase
wormhole.
yourself, time goes backwards
There it is.
and
That's
forwards.
what it feels like.
And so
There it is.
the tase only exists in the loop that it was created.
Gin tasing. Yep. Yep. All right.
Horrible.
We found the connection.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. All right. Okay. Starters, episode starters. I don't know.
Oh, we're starting now? Okay. All right, we're starting.
Wait.
Okay.
I have one.
Okay. What do you got?
Okay, I haven't looked into this. I came across this at like 2 a.m. this morning, scrolling TikTok because I couldn't sleep. So apparently,
Can't sleep.
no, that's not why I can't sleep. It doesn't help.
I
but it's
try
not
and
why
have
I
a
can't sleep.
conversation with Tanner. It doesn't work.
So
That is not why I
apparently,
can't sleep.
a YouTuber was mistakenly sent an early release copy of a game, and Hasbro sent the Pinkertons on a fully decked out raid to retrieve it. They sent them to his house with guns and gear, like fully geared up to retrieve a video game that they mistakenly sent
Oh
him.
my
And they were
Lord.
gonna, like, if they couldn't get it back, they were gonna charge him with theft.
Wow.
They don't do it.
Hasbro, the game company, sent the Pinkertons.
Sent them.
The Pinkertons.
Like
they
the
hired the
actual
Pinkertons.
the actual Pinkertons.
Yes, allegedly. I have not done any research
You
on
know, I
this,
mean,
but
I
that's-
need a little bit of background on what that is.
the
The
Pinkertons.
Pinkertons, they were a Wild West kind of gang that just kind of
They're highly organized. Think of like if the police think it's they're kind of a detective / police force, but they're like their own thing.
Yeah. Oh.
like they're
They're
Kind of like the Texas
They're-
Rangers. Kind
Okay.
Of, but
they're
Yeah.
notorious because they both were good, but also achieved their results really shady
yeah,
Gotcha.
because they were their own entity.
yeah. Okay.
In Red Dead Redemption 2,
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
it's-
getting the picture of that.
yeah. They're kind of like
and they continued
Splinter
in and,
Black
yeah.
Ops type.
And then is it?
And it still
if I
continues
rem-
on today.
yeah,
Is what you're
Yeah,
saying?
it still
Okay.
exists.
It's like
yeah.
a hired, yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
it'd basically be like an elite, like if you were to hire a private investigator, it'd be like an elite group of
Tactical
private
version of that.
investigators,
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Well, that's the crazy thing. Like a lot, like
Again, allegedly.
well, like if you think about the what is the 13 Hours, the movie
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
Benghazi. The people that were there
Yeah.
were both a mixture of,
They were just contracted.
veterans
Yeah.
and then contractors.
Yeah.
You can literally work as a contractor in like war areas. Like
Call
there's
yourself a
contractors.
consultant.
There's contractors in Ukraine right now
Yeah.
from America that were like elite SEALs that they just get paid a lot of money now to basically be a soldier that's not tied to the government.
Yeah. I get
Bro,
that concept. I
it,
just
it,
didn't
like
know
it
that there
seems
was
like a fake video game,
this
but like
particular one.
this,
Dude, that's kind of what
It's
the
real.
whole
It's
concept of
yeah.
Escape
crazy.
from Tarkov is
Yeah.
basically that. You're
That
in
makes
Russia
sense.
as a private military contractor, and
Yeah. I was going to say, I've seen a lot of depictions of this in media. Well, not media, but like, TV and movies and stuff like that. So it all makes
a lot of the
sense.
soldiers that just can't come back.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a good opportunity for them to still be useful to society, I suppose, in a roundabout way.
And make the money that they probably deserved
Yeah.
while doing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And
Because
honestly,
they make a lot of money.
also, you're not dealing
and they
with
do not as
bureaucrats and politics and crap
Yeah.
like that anymore either. You're under the command of someone who probably like makes some semblance of sense. Now, whether they're ethical or not, that's a different story.
okay.
But
Because the government is ethical.
I was going to say, the weird overlap is when the government hires them.
Right.
Yeah.
And the
'cause they will.
government controls the army, but yet the government is also hiring contracted, and it's like
Right.
the dark.
But the government
I mean,
doesn't
isn't that
be
kind of the
accountable
concept
to
of
them.
like,
Exactly.
this is probably going to get flagged for saying,
And
but
if they
like,
assassinate somebody,
but like,
they were working them up
this
for
is going to get
themselves.
flagged, but I mean, like the Suicide Squad. So like, kind of like that,
Yeah, basically.
basically,
Yeah.
because it's like, oh, you're contracted by the government, but you're allowed to be shady. But
Well, and
You're
but yeah.
government, but
Yeah.
you're not government.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's denied.
but no one's
We
going to
didn't
know
hire
that you
you.
exist.
yeah,
No one's
What
going
are
to
you
know that
talking-
this.
we don't know.
Yeah, no.
We've never met you before.
Yeah.
yep.
And in fact, your family has never met
We have
us
a plan
before,
for your
and
exit.
Your distant cousins
Yes.
have never met me before. And if you continue this path,
Yeah.
kind of threat.
you won't anymore.
Yeah. No, that's
That's nuts, though. Like, how can they justify that when they were the ones who said it? Like, it feels like 1984 mixed with like Ready Player One.
Well,
where it's like video game stuff is like so high up that it's
I was gonna say
it's
we've
like it's
kind
not
of
that deep.
almost
it's not that
past
important.
the point of mainstream to the point of where like I don't know. It gets into a very interesting discussion about intellectual property and like
Right.
content creation being. I don't know. It's a very strange world that we live in when it comes to how that sort of stuff is
Very much
handled.
so.
But yeah, the idea of a game maker company sending in a tactical, basically hit squad to
Right.
to retrieve a video game from a YouTuber's house.
It's nuts though, because like if I don't know, dude, I don't have that access like obviously available for me, because like I'm gonna independently publish my book and stuff if I have a release date and somehow it gets pirated and released and stuff. I can't just hire a squad to just like bust down doors and stuff.
We'll go bust
and so
down
it's
doors
like
for you.
it's
say, I'll
the
be the
privilege
squad.
of you being a big
We'll bust
gaming
down
company,
doors.
but where does that even come from?
We'll bring Phil's taser.
How the heck, man? Thank you, appreciate that.
and my discs.
Yeah, I'm probably going indie. So yeah, I'm probably.
You have my taser and my discs.
Anyways.
What do you bring to the table, Mike?
Caffeine.
It's my energy drinks.
My energy drinks. We just show up
We
all
are.
caffeinated with discs and tasers.
We're the
Oh,
C
man.
team.
The Bigfoot boys.
So stay away from Courtney's book until it's
You've got your
officially published.
jujitsu skills.
I do.
Yeah, so you've got jujitsu
I
skills.
do. I sit on the ground and
My butt
scoot.
scoot.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
All right, what do you got?
All right,
Tim?
all right,
What's
all right.
next?
Anyways.
What's next?
Okay, before we get into the Mothman stuff, have you guys heard of the Booga Sphere?
Booga Booga sphere?
What?
Booga Sphere?
That sounds
Okay, you kind of said
BUGA.
like a, so I wasn't sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is it was a sphere that was allegedly seen flying over Booga, Colombia.
Oh,
Booga? So how do you pronounce that if it's Colombia?
I don't know.
Booga.
How's it spelled?
Buga.
I think that's
Okay.
it.
But it was recovered on the ground. It actually was recovered. Okay.
Ah.
Now, whether it was flying over, that's just what people observed, but they did find this thing on the ground. It's around a foot in diameter, and its weight fluctuates. It started out
Okay.
weighing 4.5 pounds and currently weighs 23 pounds.
Well, that's not a minor fluctuation.
Yeah. The
5 times.
the sphere's outer surface
Blown
contains.
fluctuation.
Yeah. The spheres, well, and people were saying that when one person would hold it, it would feel light, and then the next would be like,
I
"Holy
was
cow,
just
this is
thinking
heavy."
like this sounds like the One Ring because it like shrinks and grows to fit.
Yeah,
the
it
size.
seems like
Yeah.
it depends on
Whoever
how you
wears
hold it. Or like maybe how you hold
So
it,
d-
its weight is.
But the size doesn't change.
Size doesn't change.
So its mass
So it's
is
mass.
actually changing.
Yeah.
So the
Which
outer
mass doesn't change.
right. So the outer sphere
Weird.
Contains no visible welds or seams, suggesting that it wasn't fabricated through conventional methods.
What material does it appear to be made of? Do they know?
I'm metallic.
That's what I'm wondering. Oh, it's
Metallic,
metallic. I was
okay.
going to say, is it like see-through? Like,
That's what. Yeah, I was wanting to know what are we?
It's adorned with symbols.
Oh,
Here,
great.
I can't really. I'm not going
Oh.
to turn my.
Wait a minute. I saw that in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I know, right?
what?
Oh my god.
What? Oh,
Okay.
It's like a soccer ball. It kind of looks like a soccer
It does
ball.
kind of look like a soccer ball.
Like a big
So
soccer ball.
X-ray and radiographic imagery reveal that it's composed of 3 concentric metallic layers and contains multiple small internal spheres or microspheres inside of it.
Okay, don't start twisting the mind. I've seen that.
Don't
that
twist it.
scary
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, for
Right.
real.
Don't start messing with it and trying to solve the puzzle. Okay, bad things happen.
So a central quote-unquote chip or nucleus, along with what appears to be fiber optic-like filaments, is present inside when they x-rayed it. So the site where the sphere rested, where they found it, the grass and the soil all died around it with no regrowth observed for months afterwards. However, no radiation has been detected.
I was going to
on
say,
this.
but the picture you just showed us, the dude's reaching for it with
Right.
his bare hands. So
suggesting, well,
yeah.
that's an
there's
alien
no
egg.
radiation.
That's an alien egg. I watched Aliens.
And so the
bad idea.
researchers noted that an invisible energy effect might be drawing moisture from the area. So if it's pulling in moisture,
we're
that could
mainly
explain
made
how
of
it's getting
moisture.
heavier.
It's true.
We are made of a lot of moisture. So I'm still not touching it.
So a formal paper by P. Marcillo proposes that the sphere exhibits a 81% reduction in inertia, having a negative mass effect, as well as non-ejective propulsion, and a sustained endothermic signature of roughly 100 watts, possibly challenging the standard model of physics. So it's cooling itself.
Yeah,
basically.
hold on. Can we go back to the inertia thing? What?
Yes, it has a negative mass effect, as
So
well
it's
as
a
a
quantum
non-ejective
object. Like
propulsion.
we've been talking about quantum
but-
things. It's like it's
Kind
got
of, yeah.
negative properties.
What was the inertia effect though? Like before the
weird.
mass thing? Like I understand that the mass
That it
affects
exhibits
the
a 81% reduction in inertia.
Hasbro, come get your soccer ball.
Right?
Send your
Hasbro.
squad. Send your squad. Come get.
Now
your
this sounds more like a Nintendo thing.
reduction in inertia.
Yes. So
Reduction in a law of physics?
right. So the speculation is
How's that work? How do you
some
measure
researchers and UAP enthusiasts suggest the sphere may be extraterrestrial.
What?
Physicist Julia Mossbridge remains skeptical, saying that it's more akin to an intricate art object.
Yes, an art object that changes, not
physics?
defies, but
Right.
changes the laws of physics. Interesting.
But it's
Who's the
garnered a
artist?
lot of attention in Latin America, but doesn't really seem to have gotten any attention in America. The anomalies have been preliminary, and they've seen these things and they've observed them and they posted it, but there hasn't been any peer-reviewed confirmation of the sphere's origin, whether it's earthly or otherwise.
But we all know Shield, was on the scene, right? Like Agent Phil Coulson was there
yeah.
Who
Yeah.
has
Exactly.
observed
himself.
this?
The Smithsonian will be
Quite
picking it
a
up here
few
the next week or
big
two.
researchers. But okay, so the thing with it is twofold. The one thing I have been noticing a trend in is that there does seem to be a lot of UFO UAP quote unquote artifacts that have been faked coming from
Yeah.
Latin America, South
Yeah,
America.
Yeah.
definitely.
But also, just gonna throw this out there just because don't beat me up for it. Okay, so we know that the Nazis ended up in South America and continued to do a lot of sketchy research. There's also the tales of like the face peelers and stuff like that, but they're actually like speaking like normal languages, earthly languages and stuff. Makes me wonder if some of the technology isn't the third Reich.
You already said then.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's more fun to say the mustache men than it is.
Mustache men.
But and so what if they continued research and this is just one of those orbs that we see flying around that were happening in
So-
like Jersey and stuff like that, and it's just modern modern mustache men technology.
I like that.
South America is also the region where, if you listen to like Tim Alberino talk about like the civilizations that maybe came before people, if you buy into those theories too.
Yeah.
South America's got some wild stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and highly unexplored even now.
Yeah, yeah.
We're just like the last.
You go
100
into
years
like
uncovering crazy things.
the high forests down there in like Peru.
Yeah,
area.
there's places you
some-
can't
there's
get
some
to
wild
that
stuff.
people live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
live there and we can't get to it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's just weird.
So
Overgrown,
yeah, that's very interesting. To me, if you're gonna fake an alien artifact,
Don't change the law of physics.
well, I'm like, okay, if you're gonna assign properties to an object, and you're trying to like convince people that it's real, one of the properties probably shouldn't be something like that. If you're gonna try and sell it as, hey, this is a real thing, that's a pretty lofty like goal of trying to fake. Like, yeah, dude, this thing it changes how inertia works. Like, what?
But-
What do you mean?
Also, being the argumenter on this, they were convinced that the elongated skull mummies and stuff like that from Peru, and then there was the one that the Mexican government came up, and the actual Mexican government came out and was like, this is real, and then they found out it was just paper mache. And it's like, if even the Mexican government is like, this is real, it makes you wonder to what lengths people are willing to go in that region to try to fake one of these
Well,
things.
and even
So they
the
can be
elongated
making
skulls,
that up.
not to be too far off tangent, but even the elongated skulls was a binding thing that they did with babies because it was considered to be like royalty and things if you had elongated
yeah,
skulls.
yeah,
so they would
that's
put
right.
like these bands and stuff around the kids' heads to
That's
make their
right.
skulls elongated.
I remember that.
So they did actually have elongated skulls, but they weren't aliens.
But it makes me
Right.
wonder if keeping in line with things like the Nephilim and stuff like that, makes me wonder if Nephilim didn't have bigger, longer skulls that they then tried
we
to
do.
emulate.
Oh wait,
Wow. Wow.
we do have giant skulls.
Now we're out. I gotta delete that. No, I'm just
Giant
kidding.
skulls.
You might want to delete the pictures I
do have
posted of
big
you guys
old
last
heads.
week too.
We do.
Man, are we Nephilim? We are from Viking descent.
You're in the
we do
Illuminati,
have
so-
big old monster heads.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yep.
Anyway,
There you go.
let's move on. All right. So
Do you feel like a Nephilim?
I'm not sure what it feels like, so I don't know.
we do have shared dreams.
We do. That's weird.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna have to talk about that at some
Yeah,
point.
that'll be an episode down.
All right. Let's get going
week
on
on
the Mothman. Have you guys? This is one of the ones where, okay, so part of the reason it took us so long to do the Mothman was because I originally thought it was kind of quirky, weird.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was like
It is.
Yeah.
after doing some looking into this, it's not as quirky, weird as I thought it was.
I'm pretty sure that they did a Destination Truth episode on this, and I'm
There's a
pretty sure.
There is
Tanner,
too.
I'm pretty sure that that's
Richard Gere
like
was in it.
one of the episodes we watched together when we were like right before we started dating and stuff. We were
think
hanging
so.
out a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aw,
we would just get
that's
together
romantic.
and just watch that show, kind of
Destination
laugh on
Truth
it,
and,
laugh at it because it was
Expedition
really
Unknown.
funny.
But
It was really entertaining. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of like our thing. So that's where our coming together and observing cryptid stuff kind of starts, is even before we were dating. So
yeah,
so that's what I think of. I'm
Yeah,
like, "Aw,
absolutely.
Mothman.
So let's, yeah, for real though. So there's a really excellent. The Y-Files did a very in-depth episode on the Mothman, and to prevent from replicating, because I always think that like podcasts, I want to create new content and
Yeah.
not like
Yeah.
just repeat something somebody else did and try to make it better. Like I can't be better than the Y-Files anyway, so why would I try to make it better?
Hey, no, you don't need to talk to yourself like that.
Yeah,
Yes. So, but
we're in this together.
So I won't go through as much depth as he did into the history. If you want to know more about the history, feel free to go look at that. But I think we can kind of expand a lot on where he missed. And I think he missed a lot, which is crazy for the Y-Files. But I feel like he missed a lot. So to start off with, goes back to
Sorry.
oh
There we go.
Wow,
Surprise
that's pretty
crack.
good. Good job. Surprise crack.
Got her. Got her.
The image of
Pop out
she
the
is
nose.
keeled over, pop everywhere, out of the nose. She's out.
I'm
She's
2 out of
out.
3. The only one I haven't done that to yet is Phil. All right.
Oh, that was good. Oh, that was good. I can't wait to hear that. Oh, that was amazing.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
I have nothing.
The best is when stuff like that happens when Tanner is getting ready to just hit this thing and get deep, and then all of a sudden chaos.
Exactly. Every time we try to take ourselves too seriously, we're like, no, this is not that show, guys. so somewhere someone is going, finally, they're getting to the content.
Nope.
Hi, Mom.
Surprise.
Yep.
Not a chance.
That
I
Today.
have so many potential jokes going through my head, but I can't do it.
That is why we are listed as a comedy podcast and not an informative podcast.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
She's alive.
I don't know how
She's
to
breathing.
recover. I can't even say anything. You
can't.
Someone else needs to say something. I'm not going to drink that again. I can't.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. All right, let's go. I'll get into
Mothman,
it. Let's go. So it all starts back in 1777, where Chief Cornstalk, he died in a pretty controversial
What?
Cornstalk?
Chief Cornstalk. So
Okay.
Crack corn stock.
Jimmy? Is the first name Jimmy?
James C. Cornstalk.
Okay. 1777.
yes, I want to get this correct. Pause. You can continue to laugh.
Birth of the nation. Next year, Mothman.
I know that's what I was thinking.
Hey guys, we just won the Revolutionary War. We're a nation now.
It's like,
Who that? Who that guy over there?
we're feeling settled in and comfortable. And yeah, no. Mothman.
Yes.
Okay. They discovered the Mothman before that. That was just when they acknowledged it. Like, hold on, Mothman, we gotta fight the British first.
Okay. So
All right, we're done.
this gets even better. Okay, so Chief Cornstalk, he was the commander of the Shawnee, and they led into battle in what is now current Point Pleasant, West Virginia, in a decisive battle with Lord Dunmore. Lord Dunmore's War is what this is called.
These names are something
They're
else,
Lord-
man.
made up.
Lord Dunmore.
That sounds like Scottish.
He sound made up. Now the other one, now that you
Sounds fake.
said, that makes more sense that he was Native American. You should have
It
led
does.
with that. because
Yeah.
Now I feel
Yeah.
bad.
Well,
I
you
thought-
said
oh, yeah,
chief.
Make fun of Chief
You said
Cornstalk.
chief. But I was thinking
should've-
like military.
I was thinking like
yeah.
Colonel,
Yeah,
Captain.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Colonel.
That's where I was thinking. That's where my brain was at too.
Same.
I wasn't thinking, okay.
I was picturing like
Now I feel really
I don't
terrible. About
Oh,
like
man.
a military
But
dude
anyway,
wearing
I'm glad the Mexican was the
overalls.
racist one.
Dunmore and
We've covered this, Tanner.
Lord Dunmore is so dumb sounding. So in this battle between them and the Shawnee, then the Shawnee, they signed a peace agreement, and they were basically like, we were way outnumbered. The Lord Dunmore had like double the amount of people, and there was around 200 killed on each side, basically a little less than that, but it was more devastating to the Shawnee because there was less of them. And so they signed this treaty of Camp Charlotte, and basically they were going to stop hunting the Ohio River and recognized Virginia's claim to Kentucky, and just there's just the big sweeping treaty that took place. And you fast forward a little bit, and So they already had the treaty, they already had the peace. And then during the Revolutionary War, the military was kind of concerned on to what side the Native Americans were going to be on. And Chief Cornstalk basically went up to the military at the time and was like, hey, just so you guys know, there's rumor that like some of the Shawnee are wanting to side with the British, and we're just here to let you guys know because we signed a treaty and we want to uphold our end of the bargain. Well, then the military, then the fort's commander, instead of being like, yes, thank you so much, you're amazing, instead they just detained Chief Cornstalk, his son, and a few other Shawnee as hostages. And the idea was, well, if we're holding these guys hostage, then the rest of the Shawnee won't attack our base. It makes sense, but the fort's commander actually was, and he was treating them well. He was actually treating them very well because he recognized that these guys came, they were doing so in good fashion, blah, blah, blah. Good. And it was actually, and it was against their will, but he was actually doing a good job. The problem happened when some of the Shawnee did attack some of the fort's soldiers, allegedly at least, and then the soldiers then rebelled. And then in order to get back at the Shawnee, they then raided the compound that the commander had, Fort Cornstalk and his son and the other Shawnee, raided the residents and then killed them in front of Cornstalk. And to get back at the Shawnee for killing some of the soldiers. So then Cornstalk, before they killed him, the last words that he said was he put a curse on the land, basically saying that that there would be a long-lasting curse, that they wouldn't be able to produce food and all this other stuff. So he cursed the land. So that's the start of this area. Okay, and that eventually Point Pleasant is built there, West Virginia incorporated, and all this other stuff. Nothing huge or significant really happens, but yeah. So Chief Cornstalk had condemned the area to tragedy, bloodshed, and misfortune, is basically what he had done. So now fast forward to 1967. In 1967, that's when the bridge, the Silver Bridge is what it was called, collapses, and 46 people perish in this collapse. Okay,
Right.
That is when the tail of the Mothman blows up, because they start to call it a harbinger of the doom. Because prior to that, Mothman entered in 1966, about a year before the bridge collapses. And this winged humanoid with glowing red eyes,
I remember
first
that,
pops up. And there's the obviously the ties to Chief Cornstalk, and the curse that he presented plays a little bit of a role in this as well. But the biggest thing that's kind of crazy about the Mothman is that the original sightings, before they put it in the newspaper, so a lot of people talk about mass hysteria and stuff. The issue is the first couple of sightings were independent people who saw it, reported it. Another person sees it, reports it, and their descriptions are nearly identical from different places, different people, not associated with each other. So that was the first sightings. So they're seeing this, and you can imagine, like, being a police officer and somebody comes and reports that. You're not going to immediately
you
be
can
like,
imagine being a police officer.
No, I can't.
But the original site, now this will come in later, it was a TNT plant, a former WW2 munitions site. So World War II munitions making literal TNT. So that was the first major sighting.
Boom boom base.
Is described as man-sized with wings and glowing red eyes, 6 to 7 feet tall, with a 10 to 15 foot wingspan. Then shortly after that, sightings start ramping up. So now you've got time, you've got starting to talk, people are seeing stuff, and a phenomenon happens, which can happen, but we kind of talked about it a little bit on the podcast before, where I think once you start looking for it, you're going to start seeing it more.
Yeah.
Now, whether it was actually there or whether they were just thinking they saw it, we don't know. But over 100 sightings then kind of come through, and these sightings are starting to be reported on the police have the official sightings. The newspaper starts talking about it. Investigators are starting to go around asking questions, trying to figure this out. And then, boom, December 15th, 1967, the Silver Bridge collapses. And it's investigated by authorities, and they start to wonder if there is a connection, whether it was misidentified birds, because the sandhill cranes and the barred owls are really present in that area during that time, which can both appear pretty big in the right situations. And then eventually there is a book that comes out in 1975, and then the movie that you talked about in 2002 gets introduced as the major, and it was a super big hit movie. Like I remember watching it back then.
This branch of hybrids is always cryptids is really interesting to me. The cryptids that don't attack people, they don't destroy things. They're just there, the Harbinger.
Yeah. And
they appear,
just scary.
You see them, and then bad things happen, curses happen.
Yeah.
I always think those ones are interesting, because there's a few of those different cryptids where they don't hurt anything. They just, if you see it, you
omen.
you have the omen and the curse and everything along with it. We haven't talked about curses and things.
Drink some milk.
But yeah.
I
always think that's interesting.
But thinking through, in kind of what we talk about with like the demonic, I didn't even catch what he said, so
That's okay.
Okay, I'll have to catch
You'll laugh at it.
Okay. I'll laugh when I'm editing. Yeah. But talking through like some of the demonic things and stuff like that, if this was either an angel of death or a demonic presence, you could see both things happening. But one of the crazy things, so as I start digging, so that's kind of what I feel like most people know that part of the story. That's the part that again, mass hysteria, there's only really two people may have seen something and the rest kind of created it. You can have all of these things.
Right.
But the part that I didn't really know is there is actually a picture of Chernobyl when it is blowing up that looks like what they describe as the Mothman flying near the plant before the disaster. Did I say after the disaster? I meant
you said before.
Okay.
You said before.
But before the disaster.
I think you said during, but
did I say during? Before the disaster. Sorry.
Yeah.
And workers have reported seeing something flying around overhead before, and this is documented that we have that they did report.
Chernobyl. And then munitions places.
Then, have you seen the picture?
Okay. Yeah.
Have you seen the picture of 9/11?
What?
Allegedly.
Do not. No.
There is actually a picture of what looks like a Mothman before 9/11.
Like
and
in New York City?
In New York City around the towers. And there were a few other sightings around then during New York.
Isn't it like just like on a building, almost like
I was gonna say
kind
like
of situation?
like
It's
Batman.
I don't remember.
I remember seeing the picture.
I've seen stuff like
That's
that.
one of the ones I do remember seeing the picture. I didn't look up the picture. I'll look it up and I'll share it in the Discord. So I'm going to skip down a little bit. There was a Russian bridge disaster in 1999 that something like this appeared and people started reporting it. And then the craziest one that I didn't know about was between 2011 and 2019 in Chicago, Illinois. There were hundreds of reported sights of this Mothman.
Huh.
And some of those people who saw it are very reputable people. We're talking, and it showed up at the O'Hare Airport a lot, around the O'Hare Airport. So you had passengers in airplanes.
Check-in luggage.
You had passengers in airplanes seeing it. Then you started seeing the air traffic control. Were reporting it to police and trying to remain anonymous because they were like, this guy is like, I'm about ready to retire. I feel like this is something that could cause me to lose my retirement. So I'm going to remain anonymous. But then a pilot comes out and allows his name to stand. And he saw one on the other side of the O'Hare Airport. Okay. So somebody does go through, because this is more modern. Whereas in the 60s, the documentation and how they, wrote down how they interviewed and stuff like that. And even just the ways they interviewed were flawed because you could lead really well. And so somebody went through and was actually going through all of the Chicago reports, and we're actually like taking in-depth looks at like if they claimed it was raining but there was no rain that day, and like weeding through the ones that were good and ones that were bad, or the ones that just didn't really tell anything new, and filtered through all of the reports and came up with around 200 that there were no flaws in their stories. Okay. And the only end to it seemed to be when COVID hit. And that seemed to cause the sightings and everything to kind of die down. Okay. That said, I've got a very good buddy who lived in Chicago between 2011 and 2019.
Yeah.
I reached out to him. So, this buddy he did say I could use his name. So his name is Justin. And I reached out to him and I was like, hey, so what was this like in Chicago? Like, what's going on? And he's like, I actually have a story. Oh. So I'm just going to read his words.
It's crazy how many friends and people you know that have stories. It's crazy.
I do.
It's crazy. Okay, go ahead.
So he said, I wish I could remember exactly where I was, but my girlfriend and I were driving late night in our Jeep and we were going through a tunnel. And this thing was hanging down upside down a little ways ahead. And I remember saying, is that a giant bat? It then flew down really fast, came directly head on at us, and it glided over the front of our Jeep. And this thing was so fast that I don't remember, or I didn't even have time to react. All I really remember is seeing a flash of a face and a wingspan, which was over the entire width of the Jeep he says width, but he says from tip to tip. So I'm thinking the front to back size.
I'm thinking wing to wing, wingtip to wingtip.
Oh, that could be. Wingtip to, but he said Jeep tip to tip. I'll have to ask him. I should have clarified.
Said wider than the Jeep tip to tip.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is one way or the other.
Okay.
We just looked at each other like, did that just happen? And then it just kept going. The tunnel was kind of dimly lit. It was an older one. And I didn't even know about the Mothman until years later. And so he finds out about the Mothman and then pieces this story together.
Interesting.
Wow. No mention of red eyes. But I mean, that's
well, if your headlights are hitting it, you're probably.
He did say had a face though.
Yeah.
The
face. That's freaky.
There are some ginormous bats, not so much in the United States, but there are some
and not in Chicago.
Human-sized bats.
Yeah. There's some big ones. I don't know about quite that big, but.
And he said,
not Chicago.
He said he didn't see the red eyes though, just the face.
Yeah.
I
mean, seeing a face like that is creepy enough.
Seeing the face.
Like, and I saw a face.
And then and saying it looked like what they depicted as
you think about like wolf eyes are supposed to be like yellow, right? They kind of yellow in the dark. Yeah. Like if the light hits it faintly, but like if you shine headlights on a wolf, it's not. You're not going to see yellow eyes.
We've talked about eye shine a little bit, and I think I ended up being wrong on it, so I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna.
Well,
speak
that was
confidence on
camera related,
right,
not so much
right.
like the effect of light on what you can see.
Yes,
but
and this friend of mine, he's well versed enough in things like this friend of mine isn't gonna see a bat or an owl and be like, oh, it was the Mothman.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he's well versed enough to know that like this wasn't a bird. And what he saw showed that it wasn't a bird.
Yeah, you saying owl just reminded me that we have a very good friend which I could probably
He's
mention
not
her
going to see a
name.
black bear
Her name, but
think it's a Bigfoot.
She just had very bad luck where owls would just like swoop at her car as she was driving. And she's like hit several owls, but owls have big wingspan. So that's what came to my mind as soon as you were saying that. But I'm like, you see a face.
Wild thing to like what?
Yeah. Oh, I know.
That's such a specific thing.
I know.
Hit several owls. I think I know of like 3 people that have hit an owl
ever.
Total ever.
You know this person, Phil. So.
Oh, well, just because we don't have permission, don't name names yet.
Yeah.
But after the pod, we'll talk about it. So here comes maybe let's look at some of, because of the fact that we have Chief Cornstalk, who curses the land, and then eventually this thing shows up.
Right.
I wanted to take a quick look at some of the Native American lore, because I feel like with how the Western people think about cryptids and spiritual beings, and that was the one of the things I did see, or I saw a few different cases of, is that this thing, it would just appear. It's not like it flew in. It would just be there.
Ugh.
And so it has supernatural tendencies of just showing up, kind of the way people
Right.
talk about with even like Bigfoot just disappearing, even though he's giant.
Yeah.
It seems supernatural in the way that it appears. And there was one guy in the Point Pleasant that I think it was the sheriff said that he was going to investigate, and then it just was in front of him, just boom in front of him. But again, it didn't seem to actually attack anybody. There was somebody who it did get their car, and they had scratches all the way down the length of their vehicle, but no people were harmed. At least from what I could find, it didn't seem like it hurt anybody, unless it was maybe there was like a heart attack or something here and there. But like, it didn't seem like there was any actual like physical violence that occurred.
So the history and the background in the 60s and what you're talking about, and then the history with the Native American thing and how there's always been this tale, and then it kind of became a harbinger and never really fully interacts, and it's hanging out around a munitions thing and then around Chernobyl and stuff. It starts to sound a little Scooby-Doo to me. Yeah. It's like, you know, someone just dressing up in a Mothman costume, warning people away, you know, warding people off from,
Right.
you know, getting to these.
the Harbinger and like,
if it
Yeah,
wasn't-
like-
trying to warn them, but they don't listen. Yeah.
It's like, let's go sneak into Chernobyl. Well, now there's a Mothman. Like, I don't want to go
maybe-
now.
and maybe he's
or a
there to warn
munitions
them.
thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of, but
And he doesn't
it's
know how to tell
supernatural
them.
appearing.
Right.
You know,
or
so
like
maybe not even.
those first two sightings, quote unquote,
Right.
could have been plants, especially if they matched up so well.
Yeah.
And that's just where my brain goes.
If they,
but then like,
but the fact that it can fly too is
Yeah.
that takes any normal like human abilities out of play in that.
Yeah.
But this isn't something that just showed up. Now, calling it the Mothman, which at the time there was the Batman comic that had the Mothman in it, and so it just kind of stuck as the name.
Yeah.
But this creature doesn't seem new when I look into Native American lore and stuff like that. So you have the Thunderbirds, which occur on many tribes, which are
Right.
giant, and they're. But the Thunderbirds are seen more of as a protector rather than
Right.
as
Right.
a omen of doom.
Right.
So
And that's kind of what I'm
warning,
seeing
you know.
too. Yeah.
But then in Native American culture, the owl is
owl
seen as a messenger of death,
a bad luck. Yeah.
and so
I've actually seen that myself. So
kind of
Yeah.
wonder where that came from. Maybe they saw the Mothman, kind of was like, oh, this is an owl. It shows up when bad things happen. But then there's also the Sioux legends of giant birds, which parallel a lot of the Mothman's size and description.
Condors. Just my
Then there's-
first thought when you say giant birds.
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know how giant you're talking.
And the
But
California condors.
that's
were
like I was gonna say that's like the same size as like what.
Yeah.
But
you're
let's
describing Mothman.
let's remember that the Native Americans had words for the condors.
Right. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
no.
so,
I
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we have to be very careful to recognize that like the Native Americans who lived in those areas were intelligent. You know, they're
To be
just
clear,
as
I was throwing out a
intelligent
devil's advocate.
I know.
thing there.
I know,
was
and
saying.
that's-
like
and
I know
I'm-
people are gonna bring that up.
Exactly, and that's why I'm arguing back because I know that that's what you were doing. Then there were the Algonquin Native Americans that had the flying heads. So they had these monstrous flying heads that were a harbinger of destruction.
Well, I
So
bet.
then
Tell
I
me what you got.
kind of go to then noticing the face seems significant.
Interesting.
But then you also have the Native American history of shapeshifters and skinwalkers.
Right.
So you start wondering, okay, is this a skinwalker? Is it an animal bird hybrid skinwalker type thing? Then there's also the Cherokee Uktana serpent with blazing eyes coming out of its head. And so now we have the eye association. We start seeing a lot of there's a lot of overlap in certain details. A lot of different Native American tribes had winged spirits came as warnings. Winged spirits warning. So we see some more overlap. Then in Illinois, the Illinois people had a man eagle that watched over and sometimes hunted humans. It would be geographically close to where
Chicago. Yeah.
Then there is the Ho Chunk tales of the Wakadahara. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Yep.
But the people of Wisconsin that talked about the great bird spirits who lived in the bluffs and would intervene in human affairs, sometimes protecting, sometimes punishing. So again, and then the Native American, just kind of a general lore, often has winged beings that would interfere and would have different roles. And sometimes protecting, sometimes the danger, the death, the doom, sometimes the protection, the life. And there just seems to be a lot of overlap with Native American legends. And so you start wondering, okay, my thought process always goes to, with the Native Americans, where did this come from? Because these people were a people of the land. So if they're describing something of the land, they usually do a very good job at it. Mm-hmm. To the fact of even producing, like let's say you want to take the serpent mounds, like they were very good at describing and then recreating things that were based off of the animals that they saw. I have a hard time going, yeah, a Native American just created this lore about a winged human, and it just caught on, and they all just went with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like in the same way that if one of our friends came to us and said, "Oh, I saw Bigfoot," we would be critical. We would ask questions. We would want to know things. It wouldn't just all of a sudden we're all talking about the Bigfoot of Shadron.
Right.
we have sightings in Shadron.
It would have to hold up to scrutiny.
Yeah, we have sightings in Shadron, and nobody's talking about the Bigfoot of Shadron.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I feel like the same rules would apply to the Native American culture. They're not just going to buy in on this. And it passes through the test of multiple different tribes of Native Americans, different peoples. It's not like, there's the tales that are in each and every single one of them. At some point, it can no longer be tales. It has to start being something that they saw. And because there's so much overlap with the way they describe the Mothman, I wish we didn't call the Mothman. And I think that if we didn't call it the Mothman, I feel like it would get the same kind of regard as like skinwalkers do in modern cryptid culture.
Yeah.
So while you were talking about different cultures, and I always kind of go to North America because we talk about Native America, but even in Mexico, that's still North America. Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I was looking up some Aztec stuff just real quick while you were talking.
Good call.
The Aztecs were pretty familiar with like jaguar warriors, when it came to, but they also had owl warriors.
Oh.
And they were blessed by the shaman, the sorcerers, and they were given magical powers to be able to transform into owls. Wow. And they were harbingers of death. They would go into the enemy territory as owls, curse the enemy, and then come back. But they could be owl human hybrids, and they would wear like owl uniforms.
Mm-hmm. So druids.
Yeah. They were
I was going to say, I played one in D&D.
Yeah, so even down in, southern North America, they had a human bird hybrid situation. That's cool. It was it was just part of their core culture, So, yeah.
Well, and that's where going all the way even further to South America, because I do feel like, anyway, there are so many South American lore of this kind of thing. One of them I wanted to throw out there was just kind of crazy because, we talked about the Boogosphere, that in Argentina, they have what they call the evil light, which is described as a floating ball of light that happens over marshes or cemeteries, and it's seen as an omen of death. Similar to how we tie the Mothman to the Harbinger type thing.
Just like a warning.
Theirs was just a ball of light. I wonder if it's a Boogosphere. But they also, there's the El Pombero, which is in Paraguay and Argentina, which is, again, a winged shadow, small man-like figure.
Right.
And there's the witch. Like, okay, have you ever looked into the witch stuff in South America and in Mexico?
Yeah.
A
little bit.
So now let's shift our thinking just a little bit. So let's go from take again, like I said, I wish the Mothman wasn't called the Mothman. Let's take the Mothman away and now replace it and picture it as a witch. Red eyes. Now you all of a sudden have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of tales in Mexico and in South America of witches who do almost the same thing. They show up before tragedy. Now all of a sudden, oh, this thing's a lot bigger of a deal than the Mothman was.
Yeah.
And so, part of my problem is because we've pigeonholed the Mothman as this thing that took place in West Virginia, and that's all it was. We are missing so much other lore, and going back into, even like I said, going back into Native American tales, looking at it as something else in Mexico and South America. If you were looking at it as a witch, there's the episode of Expedition Unknown where they went to, I think it's Mexico, and there's a video that they have of what looks like. And now if I were to explain it, I would explain it almost identically to how I would explain the Mothman. Just not the glowing red eyes. That's the only thing missing, but it's taking place up on the mountain and it's far away, but they can see it very clearly and it's flying.
Right.
And so witches and that kind of lore in those cultures, there's a lot of overlap with the Mothman.
Yeah. Well, when you brought up Mothman too, when we were just kind of texting, deciding what to talk about, I was like, Mothman and Jersey Devil have a lot of things in common, like the red eyes. And the one difference is the Jersey Devil supposedly looks like a horse. The head looks like a horse. But other than that, the Jersey Devil is also a harbinger. He doesn't attack people.
Yeah.
The Jersey Devil screams, blood curdling screams to warn people. And then people start to have bad luck, bad fortune. They die, things like that after they see the Jersey Devil, but he doesn't attack them. So that's kind of an interesting, it's listed as a different cryptid, but like you said, if you take pieces away from it and, take the idea of it being a man, Mothman, how many of these things could be attributed to the same creature? It's like when we used to do, Bigfoot and the Yeti being separate, and now we kind of look at them as maybe Yeti and Bigfoot are the same thing.
Sasquatch, start,
potato,
swamp, swamp ape.
Doesn't matter what you call it; it's still the same thing. You
start coming up with different names. And that's exactly. I feel like with a lot of this, it's. We do get caught up on naming things and the names of them and the descriptions based off of the names, because it doesn't matter if I describe something as this is a 6 to 7 foot tall creature, dark black, winged, could fly, had piercing red eyes, but kind of the face of a man, without the connotation of Mothman, that's a really creepy dark image.
Yeah, right.
But then you throw the name Mothman on there and all of a sudden you're picturing a moth. You're like, ew.
Brown,
weird,
dusty wings and maybe
And so because
lousy antenna.
Yeah, we the name of it, and if it is something demonic, then maybe the name is fitting and we don't want to bring more attention to it. But I feel like the name actually
dumbs it down,
very
dulls
much
it,
so.
Makes it. Well, when you think of a moth,
it's creepy sounding,
right?
Yeah,
like I said, it makes it sound Scooby Doo.
Well, it sounds like a cartoony thing, and it's like stupid, kind of dumb. Like moths, we think of them as really unintelligent creatures, and so which they are. But when you assign that name to it, you kind of transfer that characteristic with the name. It's just a dumb, annoying thing and kind of weird. It's not really scary. It's just obnoxious.
Right. So, I typed into ChatGPT while we were recording just now, and I asked it to create an image of the witches according to Native American and South American lore, combine them and generate one image. Mm-hmm. This is the image it created.
Interesting. Wings?
wings and red eyes.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
And then they threw the
At
hat on there
night.
It was a
because
pointy
it's a
hat
witch.
because
At night.
Wizard of Oz. Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. But you take the hat away. I think. But
Yeah,
and again,
interesting.
but take that hat away. Tell me that's not the Mothman.
Yeah. So thought I had because I always
post that
try
in
to
the
weigh
Discord.
both sides of things. Like we always assume Mothman, all these things, harbingers of death, are like this evil thing because we associate them with like scary movies. What if? And this is a huge what if. But what if the harbingers of death are actually angelic creatures, and like even in the Bible the angels' voices are so loud and overwhelming that they don't speak directly to humans, and maybe these angels are showing up to be like, hey, this bridge is going to collapse, pay attention. And we're so locked up in our visual day and in the moment, we don't recognize it for what it is, and so we just go head on into the bridge. I don't know, just a thought
Right, rather
from the
than
other
stopping.
side of things. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's and I think the one I think the one detail is it's very important that I couldn't come across of any stories of like this thing like taking a human or like killing
Yeah,
anybody
no
or
attack.
anything like that.
Nothing like that.
And so it does seem to be more messenger-esque.
Yeah.
But to argue the contrary on that, it also could be showing up taunting because it's already planning an attack and just kind of like showing up
Could be.
and just scaring people.
Throwing its authority around a little bit.
Mind game stuff.
Yeah, and scaring people so that when the disaster does happen, they attribute it to him rather than
Associate it,
just odds or
Yeah.
Well,
Well, and then it gets into mind game stuff where like now when I show up, if I'm that creature, now when I show up, like I maybe cause hysteria, I get people freaked out about stuff, kind of a.
Well, that's the curse thing too. So with curses and stuff, I believe curses actually happen, but I don't think they're magical. I think when someone knows they have a curse, we tend to self-fulfill that curse.
Yeah.
We tend to do things and make decisions that
so
do that.
chaos.
Now, a bridge collapsing, that's a little different. Like nobody was thinking about the bridge collapsing and it did,
Right.
But,
Yeah.
I also believe in curses as like real too, because
I believe that.
I mean Jesus curved the fig
he curved it.
curved the fig tree, the fig tree, and it wilted and it could no longer, and so. But we also have sig tree. I'd make a lot.
But
of
I
money.
also believe too that we can will things in our world to happen too. I think we have.
Watch
as
out, Mike.
Humans, we have the power to do that.
You're starting to jump into the prosperity gospel.
saying?
No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah,
You name it.
If you give me $10, I will give you 100.
I mean, if you got $10,
It just reminds me of how
I agree.
how
But yeah, I
it's a
think-
trendy like new age spiritual to be like, I'm just manifesting this for myself, and it's
What's-
like in Christianity we have a completely different connotation with the word manifesting.
right?
Well,
yeah.
Well, I mean, what is the opposite of a curse? If I curse you,
Bless you.
I'm blessing
Bless
you.
you. Yeah.
And we believe in blessings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bless those who come in, and
That's true.
and anyway, and so I think there is power in it, but I also do agree with you that the placebo effect is a real thing.
Yeah.
And if you want to apply that placebo effect to curses and blessings, it's still a real thing.
Yeah.
The placebo effect is a verifiable, like we can
Well, because
we can test it and see that it's real.
Because here's the thing too. So if I know there's a curse, a Mothman curse, and I know this exists, and I know that people that see the Mothman are doomed to bad fortune and things like that. If I see a Mothman up here while we're disc golfing, and I believe in that, all of a sudden my mind and my focus and my decisions and everything are going to be based on watching out for these curses so much so that like they start to manifest, they start to actually happen.
Well,
Yeah, and we have a saying kind of in disc golf, and you bring up disc golf. We always talk about if you're trying to miss a tree, you're going to hit the tree
every time.
So we always have a rule: don't throw when there's kids because you're going to be trying so hard not to hit the kids. You're going to hit the kids.
Yep.
Because that's what you're focusing on. So don't play disc golf when there's kids.
And so like
But- to expand that. Yeah.
And the idea of like, again, with the mind games thing, and like, you know, you can lead to like the self-fulfilling prophecy type thing just by, so think about it like this. If I punch you one time, every time I ever like kind of load up a fist, you're going to think he might be about to punch me. Mm-hmm. I don't ever have to punch you again to make you think I'm going to punch you. True. I still can. Yeah. I still could. It's a thing. Like, there's power. That option is there. Yeah. But, like, it doesn't really matter after you do it one time. So if you cause a bridge to collapse after showing up one time, now every time you ever show up, regardless of whether you actually caused something to happen or not, you have now, like, started. People are going to be thinking about it. And, like, it freaks people out and it gets in your head. And that's, like, the whole thing is, like, being able to fake people out and feint things and you just get into people's heads.
I think one of the weird things, though, is to kind of push back on that a little bit, is once the catastrophe happens, the sightings disappear, basically. Mm-hmm. So
that's what's got me. Is
I feel like you would notice it more.
Like big things happen. It's not just little
things. After the bridge collapse, I feel like people would be looking for it more.
Yeah.
Than they were before the bridge collapse. Yeah. And Chernobyl, they'd be looking for it more. Maybe not Chernobyl.
So imagine the flip side of my flip side. Yeah. I want you to... So like,
too much flipping.
Let's say as a spiritual being, I want you to lose your faith and your trust in God. All I got to do is show up. And you start doubting your own faith and doubting...
Well, and that's kind of the direction I was driving. You start...
So the flip side of the flip side...
If you start thinking about whether or not something bad is going to happen because this thing that you associate with bad things happening has showed up, now you might just screw yourself up. You lose focus of what you're trying to do, whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing. You like
right, yeah.
Regardless of whether that thing you associate with bad things actually does a bad thing, they still could. Maybe they do, but like they don't necessarily have to. Because now they're in your head, and now you're going to screw up because you're thinking about it, and you're not thinking about what you're supposed to be thinking about.
Right, but that also, everything we're talking about indicates intelligence.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, there seems to be an intelligent, whether it's trying to intimidate or whether it's trying to protect, whether it's trying to, no matter what it is, there seems to be an intelligence wrapped around it. The one kind of anomaly seems to be the Chicago, because there wasn't, because it appeared over a long period of time, and then there wasn't a significant event other than which COVID hit everywhere. I probably shouldn't say that word on the podcast because they'll probably get shouted, man, because they're weird about it. But it showed up
2020,
and it didn't show up just in Chicago, and so it's not, it's a weird anomaly. But there is the local creature of the Illinois that is in that region, and you almost wonder, and you start kind of breaking it apart and saying maybe it's not just one creature, maybe we're attributing multiple things to the Mothman, but one's a real creature, one's an intelligent creature. But
thought. Okay, so what if the event was COVID, and what if it was related to airports because that's where it came in?
And it came into America through Chicago?
It could have been Chicago. That could have been like the first entry point. That was my first thought.
It would be Chicago.
It would be Chicago. Come on, Chicago. It's always Chicago.
But no, you do wonder if like that's kind of what it was. If Chicago was like the main one, or maybe that's where more of them came in, or something like that. But if airports were the entry point for that, if maybe that was the event that they were foreshadowing / causing / drawing that
what
up
if, like all these what if all these cryptids are all the same type of creature? They're you know what I mean? Like
demons.
That's where I was kind of going with it. That's kind of where I was going with it. Because even like just look again at Aztec culture, they have an owl man, they have an eagle man, they have the jaguar man, they have the snake man. They've got all these that are hybrid animal humans. Mm-hmm. And they just stick them all and lump some into one group. They don't separate them out. And maybe we're just separating out. Maybe there isn't that big a difference between a Bigfoot and a Mothman and a Jersey Devil and maybe they're all the same.
Corgi, Dalmatian, Lab. They're all dogs.
Hybrids of different animals.
One last theory that there is some popularity on is that because the first sighting was in a TNT area, what if it wasn't just a TNT area and there was,
Right.
you know, maybe some radiation, maybe some chemical stuff that went
That's what I
on
was
and
gonna bring up,
created it?
because
then Chernobyl.
I remember the association between Mothman and Chernobyl, and I feel like that was always a theory of like,
Yeah.
because you see radioactive, because what is it, river monsters, and
mutation
he
kind
goes
of
to try and catch some fish to see if they're radioactively affected and stuff, and so there's always that theory of like, what does that do to the animals in the exclusion zone? So
Right. But, you know, the one thing about it is if it is demonic, it is interesting because now in the area, they have the Mothman Festival. They have a Mothman museum. They have Mothman
celebrating
statues.
the demons. Yeah. That's,
And so it makes you wonder.
like New
you know?
Jersey Devil. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a hockey team for it now.
Yeah.
Like,
It makes you wonder if, man, because demons, they're smart. And it makes you wonder if they're not doing it like that on purpose because they're trying to get man to worship them.
Yeah.
And by and
bad
like let's put
publicity
it
is
this way.
still publicity.
Right.
Business rule number one.
What does worship look like in America? You know, let's say we worship a football team. We deck out in their gear. We go to the games. We cheer. We
it influences
put
your culture.
billboards in, statues up, that kind of thing. Mothman. So worship would look very similar. Mothman, we have a statue of it in biblical too. They would build the statues out of in order to worship. So that we have now a
Actual
statue.
idols.
We have an actual statue. We have an actual festival around it. So now even look into like Jewish culture and stuff like that of the importance of festivals. So now we have a festival worshiping this.
Guarantees
idol.
there's songs. There's
They have an entire museum built to it, and people flock from all over to come and visit the Mothman during the Mothman festival. In
people
the fall,
go out looking, hoping to see it now, just so they can
Well,
be
the
on the
legend
list of
keeps-
people who saw it.
The legend
Like,
keeps growing to other parts of the United States now.
Yep,
So-
and now exactly, and again, it's growing, and now in
Yeah.
Chicago there's stuff, and
because we don't know the bounds of its power. So
that looks a lot like worship to me. Just saying. And
I have zero argument against that. I mean that just makes a lot of sense. Like good or evil, we're when something like that happens, we turn it into something that we absolutely adore and love, and we want to dress up like it as Halloween for Halloween, and we want to do all these things. We tend to do that as humans.
yeah. And that's where, going back to the Bible, it talks about that you're going to serve somebody or something. You do have a master. It's just, who have you chosen your master to be? And we can worship when we worship things, having idols before God and worshiping before God, that it's basically saying that this is more important in my life than God is in my life, and having those idols. But it also sometimes can be very literal. And I think going and worshiping the Mothman and having an idol and celebrating the festival, even though you might not think it's worship, you are worshiping the Mothman.
you're giving up your parts
You know,
of your life to like dedicating yourself to it.
Right. You can worship, but you can also worship a football player.
Yeah.
You can worship it
And have all of his stats
not-
memorized and know
and
his
not
career front
realize-
and back, and
right, and not even realize you're worshiping it. And if it is a demon, worshiping a demon probably is not a good thing. But
So imagine in 2,000 years when they're excavating the area and they come across this giant Mothman statue. The stories they'll tell and like the stuff they'll make up about
like-
what it was. And
right.
Yeah.
But would
Like
they be
the
wrong?
owl statue
I mean,
at the Bohemian Grove too.
I don't know that it would be a misunderstanding, but it wouldn't be wrong. I
Right.
mean,
They
it
find
wouldn't be
the
completely
museum
wrong.
where you can purchase the costumes, and then maybe they even find a.
And they were like, "Oh, this was a church."
Wrong
that-
formula,
where they
right
worship
answer.
this thing.
and maybe they find
I mean,
a pamphlet that talks
they're
about
wrong, but
the
not
festival.
wrong. Yeah. I
Talks
see what
about the
you're saying.
festival, and they see the sign that says the Mothman Festival days.
I hear you
September
barking, dog.
19th through the 20th.
I smell what you're cooking.
I guess one reason that would make me think that it wasn't an angel is angels very vehemently do not want worshipped.
Right.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if there was a risk of them being worshipped, I feel like the angel wouldn't allow that.
And so that argument nullifies my flip side of maybe this is an angel trying to help.
Can.
It could.
But it also,
And
but again,
these are
God,
just arguments.
I say,
back
if,
and
if
forth,
God
I don't know.
ordained it and God wanted it to happen, the angel's not going to be like, no, God, they're going to worship me. They would just
Right.
do it.
And if we knew what it was, it wouldn't be a cryptid and it wouldn't be fun. So,
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so is the Mothman just a witch?
Maybe.
Or
A druid.
Or let's go the other way. Are the witches of South American and Mexican lore just the Mothman?
Potato,
It's
potato.
all connected.
And do they work for the CIA? I don't
Almost
know. That's a
certainly.
stretch. That's a stretch. That's a stretch.
Almost
All right.
certainly. No, not a stretch at all. That's
It's actually
I
kind of
about
not a
guarantee
stretch
it.
because there was the branch that
What
did
if ha-
Yeah, there was
with
literally-
witchcraft and
Yeah.
all that
Yep.
stuff. So
I
it's not
guarantee.
that far of a stretch.
Let's say I
honestly.
guarantee that
Does Hasbro own the
branch
CIA?
researched the Mothman. Yeah, who owns the rights? Who produced the Mothman movie? Disney. I'm just kidding.
The government.
They probably own it. At this point.
By this point, they probably do. Yeah.
Real quick survey. So I came across this is totally unrelated to everything other than Disney. Do you guys like Disney movies or Pixar movies better?
Isn't Pixar? Disney?
Nope.
They're not.
No, they're not.
Disney bought out Pixar a while back.
Depends.
Did they? Or
It depends on the-
They
Oh,
collab.
Just
Okay.
overall, like which one do you
Because
think?
hard
there's
to say
Disney,
because
there's Pixar, and then there's
my-
Disney
yeah.
Pixar.
Disney
Right.
over the last 20 years has been, but before
my
that, I
top-
really like Disney.
My top 5 current are probably Disney because you got Moana, which is Disney, right?
So they
Aren't they Disney Pixar though? Because there's a lot of stuff that
Disney
are
Pixar.
Disney
They're pretty
Pixar.
big.
It's Disney Pixar.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
But
because
then, like,
DreamWorks
just
is the other
just
one. And they're
Pixar
not.
is like
DreamWorks is the
Toy
other.
Story.
Yeah, Disney Pixar. Disney owns Pixar. It's Disney Pixar.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Pixar is a branch of Disney that is different from
Right.
Disney.
Yeah,
I see what you're
so-
saying.
Pixar
Well,
is owned by Disney now.
Now.
Yeah.
But before it was like Toy Story
then-
was Pixar.
Yeah.
And like a few of those other ones were just Pixar.
You know, I like the Pixar because of all the. I like to.
DreamWorks is
I like
not owned.
when I watch it the 18th time and I see a connection to one of the other Pixars that I didn't see before, or I see, something else stands out that I didn't catch before. Like they hide things in there. That, I don't know. That's why I like Pixar. Disney's pretty straightforward.
I just tend to like the feel of Pixar movies better. I
They feel
I
less
definitely like.
agenda-driven.
Yeah, I like Pixar better.
The
by quite a
music
bit.
in Disney,
even old
I
Disney.
think the music is great in old Disney. Like it was fun to sing
music was
along,
really
and
good.
the music it was like a musical. And then they tried to go pop, and it wasn't. I don't know. it just didn't
I
have the
just
same
I've
feel.
always liked Pixar movies better. I liked
But I
Toy
do
Story.
like
I liked
Pixar.
Cars. I liked all of it. I just
I do
enjoyed.
like Pixar.
I like Pixar.
Is that why you were so sad when I made the Wall-E Garden of Eden connection? It's like I just ruined Pixar.
No, but
Phil.
I did really like Wall-E.
I
Wall-E's
do
a
like
good
Wall-E. I
movie.
love Wall-E.
That's a
Yeah,
great
that's one of
movie.
my favorites.
I don't know the feel, like you said, the lack of agenda drive. It just Pixar movies have always felt good.
Yeah.
And Pixar, their original stuff, like the old Disney, they're all based on like fairy tales and things like that.
Right.
Like Pixar isn't. It's a new
Do we need
angle,
a-
a
do
new
we need a
idea.
list?
Yeah.
And the Pixar
It felt clean.
A
Pixar
list
can
that
take
were
something
Pixar?
that doesn't have a face and have it show emotion. Like Wall-E doesn't have a face. He's a couple
Right.
of light bulbs.
That's a big thing.
And
I
he can,
think.
even the intro where the little thing hops out, it's a little lamp that hops out, has so much
Yeah.
personality, and it doesn't even have a face. You know,
Yeah.
and Pixar can create that. I really
I feel like
like
that's
that
kind of one of
about
those
Pixar.
things.
Yeah, Pixar always felt clean and pure to me. I don't know. That was
I
just
feel like Disney's main goal was to originally show that women have emotions, and then cartoons can have emotions, and then cars can have emotions, and then a trash
Yep.
can can have emotions, and now we've gone full circle
An
again,
ant.
and now they're trying to prove that women can have emotions again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Monsters
Okay.
have emotion.
They're just-
Clownfish can have emotion.
Kids can have emotion. Yeah,
Right.
it
Kids.
cracks me up.
What?
Kids can have emotion. Yeah. Anyway,
Even Phil has
Disney's
emotions.
evil.
no, I don't.
There were a lot of emotions on your face when you sniffed that smelling salt earlier, so.
That was
Yeah.
emotional.
Yeah,
That's true.
Chemical and emotional.
I was gonna say mostly chemical. That was a visceral reaction. That is what that does to you.
All right. Well, with that, we love you guys. Don't forget to
Be your BA best and check out Dubby.
Yeah,
Don't
be a
forget about
Bigfoot.
your W.
And like, comment, subscribe, all that.
Do all those things. You guys are amazing. Love you. Okay, bye.
Bye.
ancient days of giants, when the earth was wild and free, a creature roamed the valleys, cloaked in mystery. Is he born of angels' blood and man, a Nephilim so tall, or a shadow of the fallen, yet heeding the Maker's call? He's a biblically accurate Bigfoot, with a lineage from the skies. Not a myth or legend, but a truth that never dies. Is he a remnant of the Nephilim, a titan standing tall? Or does he have the word of God upon him, the last to hear the call?